This is the Civil Rights Remediation PowerPoint, VAUS 14. In the landmark decision of Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954, the Supreme Court will declare that segregated schools are unequal and must desegregate. This will begin to turn the tide of years of segregation under Jim Crow laws. Virginia responds to the Brown versus Board of Education ruling through massive resistance, going as far as closing schools in some areas, establishment of private academies, and many whites in cities will flee to the suburbs to leave urban schools. In Virginia, there will be several key leaders who will begin to fight this. Chief among those is Oliver Hill, an NAACP leader here in Virginia, and Thurgood Marshall, who is on the national stage, the NAACP legal defense team. He, along with the NAACP, will begin to challenge segregation and Jim Crow laws in the courts. He will also later on become the first African-American Supreme Court justice. Civil rights will hit the national stage in 1963 with the March on Washington. Here, Martin Luther King will give his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. The speech was attended and will help influence public opinion to support civil rights legislation. The march demonstrated the power of nonviolent mass protest. Many believe that JFK would help get some civil rights legislation passed, but in November of 1963, JFK will tragically be shot in Dallas, Texas. But picking up where he left off will be LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson. And he, along with Congress, will get the Civil Rights Act of 1964 passed. This act will prohibit discrimination based on race, color, religion, gender, or national origin. It also will desegregate public accommodations. Many did not know how LBJ would react to helping end discrimination, being that he was a Southerner from Texas, but his record on civil rights will pick up with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. LBJ continues to help the civil rights movement with passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This act outlawed literacy tests. It will send federal registrars throughout the South to register new voters. Obviously, this act will increase African American voters and participation. And once again, LBJ will play a large part in both of these two acts.